Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the new Eternian Palace Guards from Masters of the Universe Classics. So Masters Classics has finally received its first Army Builder 2-pack. This first set offers up the ability to build the troops of King Randor to help bolster the ranks of your good guys. Is there enough here to really make folks buy multiples to create an army? Let's find out. The Palace Guards come in a small window box showcasing both figures within. While the box is very similar in design to other window boxes we have received, such as that of Titus and Battlecat, this is the first time one has been created in this size to house two standard action figures. The back of that box shows more figures from the line, and features a brief new bio for the guards. Now let's slide the two figures out of the box and check them out. Let's begin with their overall appearances. Both the classic cartoon series and the MYP series featured an army of troops working for the king. These new figures are modeled after the look of the troops that is reminiscent of the armor worn by Man-at-Arms, which makes sense since Duncan is in fact in command. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the Palace Guards here. We'll start with the articulation on these guys. Now, since these guys do pretty much have head-to-toe armor, I wanted to show just how the articulation works here. Now, for those of you who already have your Man-at-Arms figure, this really isn't a whole lot different, except for the fact that the armor is on both sides and not just one arm and one leg. Now, of course, because of the armor on the arm, it does get in the way of the articulation just a little bit. It's not too bad, because luckily these are two separate armor pieces. So the elbow still bends pretty fine, you still get some decent articulation, but because of the shoulder part, the ball joint has a harder time flipping up, and of course when you do this, it slides the armor down, almost completely covering the hand. The armor is loose, so it's easy to kind of slide around and gets in the way of the hand just a little bit. It's really not too bad though, and it seems to work out just fine. Now let's look at those armor pieces a little bit closer, because we want to compare to what we already have with Man-at-Arms. Now, as you can see, the armor built for the arm is exactly the same on both figures. Man-at-Arms and these new Palace Guards all have the same armor. You even have the little gun blaster on the forearm piece and all of that. It's all the same, colored slightly different. Man-at-Arms is a little more deeper of an orange than the Guards, but it's exactly the same as far as the sculpt goes. On the opposite side, you can see Man-at-Arms did not have these extra piece on his right arm, so we do have them on the right arms of the Palace Guards. Again, the sculpts are pretty much exactly the same, right down to the small gun blaster on the forearm, but they were designed to fit on the opposite arm. Now the pieces were actually still made pretty much exactly the same. They can still be removed in the exact same spots, and they can come right off the arm. They just unclip off of the peg, or you can actually slide them right off the arm. It's very, very easy to do so, because as I said before, they are loosely fitting. They're not very tight, so they fall right off. Now, looking at the Shin Guards and the Knee Guards, once again, they are the exact same sculpt, but this time around, you've got one on the right leg, as Man-at-Arms did not have that. Now, there is a little bit of a difference on this piece. The one for the left leg is exactly the same as Man-at-Arms, but the one for the right leg actually is sculpted just a little bit different so that the peg piece is in the middle of the leg instead of the side of the leg like on the left side. So when you look at him from the back, you can see that you've got a peg in the middle of the back of his right leg, but on the left leg, it's off to the side a little bit. Not really a big deal. It's on the back and doesn't exactly have to be perfect, so it's very easy once again just to pop those off, and you can remove the armor if you want to and get your guard down to the bare minimum here. Now, the actual armor that goes over the chest is made of a harder plastic, and it clips on both ends very much like the classic Masters of the Universe figures, and kind of like what we've already seen with our Battle Armor He-Man figure. It doesn't take too much work to just pop it off there. And once you remove it, just like with your battle armor He-Man, you actually have some interchangeability here. You can pop out the regular piece that was in the middle, or this Lieutenant Insignia piece here, and then we can pop in some battle damage, so that way we can display our guards with a little bit of battle damage if we want to do so. So, very well designed and very cool to have these extra little bits of interchangeability here. Those cool interchangeable chess pieces allow you to display your guards with normal armor, with markings that make them a lieutenant, or with battle damage, similar to what we've seen on Battle Armor He-Man. The set includes 4 interchangeable heads. Yes, 4. This way you have the option of displaying your 2 soldiers in many different ways. You get 2 humanoid heads, one of which is African American, or Eternian American? African Eternian? I don't know, you know what I mean. And the other one is Toy Guru. No, seriously. The head sculpt on Lieutenant Spectre here, which is the only one with a name in this set by the way, is modeled after brand manager Scott Toy Guru Knightlick. Then we also get 2 heads from different Eternian races. One head is a cat person of the same race as Chief Carnivus, known as the Cadians. And the other head is this reptilian, almost snake-looking head, of which I'm not sure which race it exactly belongs to. It can't be a snake man, right? That would be weird. Also included are 2 face guards that you can plug right into the helmets. This allows you yet another way to display these guys, and can even give you the opportunity to hide some of the faces if you want multiples of these on your shelf. Aside from those heads, we also get a ton of weapon choices. Each of the weapons seems to resemble those that were included with the original Castle Grayskull weapons rack. We get a pair of long-stabbed axes, a pair of shields, a club, and a short axe. Now for those weapons that they aren't holding in their hands, you can use the back of their armor as a weapons rack, very similar to Man-at-Arms. All of the weapons are cast in an almost metallic silver paint finish and give you many different display options. Match that up with the multiple heads and you really do have many options for several different guards. By the way, I must point out, even though that shield was also with the Grayskull weapons rack, it's also the same that belonged to a certain stinky evil warrior. Overall, I must say that I am incredibly impressed with these 2 figures. When I first heard that we were getting an Army Builder 2-pack, I was really hoping for Horde Troopers, as I thought Palace Guards would be a little bit boring. While I still hope that the Horde Troopers are on their way, I can say that I was definitely proven wrong here. The extra heads, the ability to swap the armor chest plate, and all of the included weapons really make these something special. There is no doubt that I will be getting more of these sets so that I can display all of the different head options and really build up an army for my King Randor. And I know that many of you out there are going to want to do the exact same thing. The guards go on sale in January of 2011 and are not part of the 2011 subscription. So make sure you log on to MattyCollector.com and pick them up. They are definitely worth it. Until next time.